She sat at the corner table of the crowded restaurant, her fingers trembling on the rim of the glass. Her eyes searched for the bright red exit sign. To others, it might have looked like nervousness, but to Arthur Vance, watching from 3 tables back with his 7-year-old daughter Leela, it was clear. That young woman wasn't waiting. She was looking for an escape, and Arthur couldn't ignore it. Before I reveal how he acted, I want to ask you, if you believe kindness can change a life, please like and subscribe to Lights on the Path. What you're about to hear will stay with you for a long time. The clinking of cutlery and the murmur of conversations filled the air. Arthur was there because Leela, after her school presentation, asked for a fancy dinner. He had intended for just hamburgers, but he couldn't say no. They sat near the wall. Arthur's gaze repeatedly drifted to the young woman. She wore a light blue dress, a little too large. Her hair was styled, but a few loose strands didn't bother her. She looked at her phone without scrolling, just lighting up the screen, as if waiting for a message. Every time a man in a dark suit at the bar turned his head, her shoulders tensed and her eyes darted to the exit. Arthur knew that look. Not the exact situation, but something similar. As a former security guard, he recognized when someone felt trapped. She wasn't relaxed, not enjoying the evening. She was calculating something. The waitress passed by. Arthur lowered his voice. "The young woman in the blue dress, has she been here long?" he asked casually. The waitress looked at her. She came with the man at the bar. They ordered, but she barely touched her drink. Arthur felt his stomach clench. He didn't want to assume the worst, but the man's controlling gaze bothered him. Leela was happily drawing, oblivious. Arthur tried to focus on her, but his thoughts kept returning to the woman. Then he noticed when the man, Victor, got up and went to the restroom. Before leaving, he spoke to the barman, subtly pointing at the young woman. The barman nodded. This wasn't a simple wait. When Victor disappeared down the hallway, Arthur seized the opportunity. He walked slowly to her table, pretending to look at his own phone, and stopped. Up close, her eyes were red from holding back tears. "Miss," he said softly, "you've looked at the exit at least 15 times in the last half hour. Is everything all right?" She froze. Her lips parted, but no words came out. Her eyes slid to the restroom door. She whispered, I can't leave. He'll find me." Arthur's voice remained calm. "Do you want to leave?" She hesitated. She nodded almost imperceptibly. In that instant, Arthur's protective instinct awakened. "All right, I can get you out of here, but you need to follow me." He returned to Leela and picked up his jacket. "Sweetie," he said, smiling, "we're going to help someone now, okay?" Leela didn't understand, but trusted her father. Arthur returned to the young woman. "Name?" he asked quietly. "Sophia," she replied. "Great, Sophia. From now on, we're a family. You're my cousin. You were having dinner with us. If anyone asks, you're coming with us because you're spending the night at our house. Understood?" She nodded again, her breathing quickening. Arthur carefully placed his hand on her shoulder and guided her out. Leela went ahead, holding Sophia's hand like old friends. The barman called out, "Hey, she's with me." Arthur interrupted him firmly, his gaze fixed on the man. His tone left no room for discussion. They reached the cool night air. But as they approached the truck, the restaurant door burst open violently. Victor ran out. "Sophia," he yelled, "get back here." Sophia stopped, her face ashen. Arthur positioned himself between her and Victor. "She's not going anywhere with you." Victor's jaw clenched. "You have no idea what you're getting into, pal." "Oh yes I do," Arthur said calmly. "I know exactly, and I know she doesn't want to go with you, so back off." Victor took a step forward, but Arthur stood firm. Pedestrians slowed their pace. The aggressor seemed to notice the attention. He muttered something and went back inside. Sophia let out a shaky sigh and clutched her small purse. "Thank you," she murmured. Arthur just nodded. "You're safe now. Let's get somewhere warm." They drove off into the darkness, but Arthur knew this wasn't the end. He still didn't know who she was running from or how much trouble she was in, but he was sure he wouldn't leave her alone. The faint hum of the heater filled the truck. Sophia, in the passenger seat, looked at the dark streets of Washington. In the back, Leela hummed, hugging her bunny. "You don't have to tell me anything," Arthur said softly, "but I need to know if you're in danger tonight." Sophia hesitated. I think so." Her voice faltered, and then the words poured out. She had met Victor 2 months ago. At first, charming, generous, but he changed. He decided what she wore, who she talked to, where she went. That night, he took her out for drinks. When she refused to drink more, he tensed up. She felt trapped. Every nerve screamed to run, but she knew he was watching. Arthur listened without interrupting. He had heard stories like this many times, but it never got easier. The fear in her voice reminded him of a friend who didn't escape in time. "Do you have family nearby?" he asked. She shook her head. "My parents live in another state, and I can't go home. He knows where I live." Arthur thought, "All right, you can stay in the guest room tonight. Tomorrow we'll sort out the rest. First, I'll call a police friend, unofficially, in case he tries to look for you." She stared at him, surprised. "Why are you helping me? You don't even know me?" Arthur gave her a look and focused back on the road. "Because I've seen too many people looking for the exit and never reaching it." When they arrived at Arthur's simple house, Leela led Sophia to the guest room with the excitement of a slumber party. For the first time, Sophia smiled. Arthur made tea and they sat at the kitchen table. Sophia's hands barely trembled anymore. "You probably saved my life," she said. "I didn't think anyone would notice." Arthur shook his head. "People do notice, they just don't always act." The next morning, the smell of pancakes woke Sophia. Leela was talking animatedly, and Arthur handed her a cup of coffee. But the calm was short-lived. His cell phone vibrated, his police friend with an update. Victor had been arrested the night before, shortly after Arthur left with Sophia. He caused a scene at the restaurant and pushed someone who tried to intervene. The police were also investigating other complaints against him. Sophia's eyes filled with tears. I can't believe it's over," Arthur smiled. "It's not over, but it's a start." The following week, Sophia stayed at Arthur and Leela's house until she could move and start her life over in another city. On the morning she left, she hugged Leela tightly and then turned to Arthur. "I'll never forget you," she said. "You didn't just give me an exit, you gave me hope." Arthur nodded. "Just promise me one thing. If one day you see someone looking for the exit, help that person too." And that's exactly what kindness means. It's not just about noticing when someone needs help, but having the courage to act. If you believe the world needs more people like Arthur, leave a like on this video and subscribe to the channel, because sometimes the smallest act of courage can change someone's entire life.